Rick, this is Joel. It was sure good to see you the other day. That's where we started. And again, right where we started, the good news is, look how good that shaft looks. Higher and higher through the top of your left, getting closer to the top of your left shoulder, and those arms aren't showing up too much as we started the other day. From that angle, and then over here, those arms are gradually getting extended better and better, and that weight shift is happening way better than it used to. So again, right there, that's a good look in terms of your hands and arms there. Much better than in the past. Not perfect, but still much better than in the past, Rick. And you were trying to do the hip thing, but you hadn't gotten to practice it much. But you can sense how trying to get started with those hips on the downswing first would get your torso to be at a better angle as you come into the downswing, make it easier to swing on plane. There, those arms are extended way better in the past, but still, there's some curve there. And here you see your hands have turned over at that point in the follow-through very nicely. And as we went through, you didn't hit that great during our session, but as you sensed, when you could, there you're doing the loop that you got so comfortable with last winter, and you see how that club head is going on a nice path there. That's going to be able to create a lot more draws for you if you can get used to that. Now, again, that's a beautiful look there, wasn't it? That's where, when you tried, there you go, to start the downswing with your hips better, you had that nice little leg up at the top there, and the arms got extended even better there, Rick. That's like the best we've ever seen. And you see how much your weight is shifting over very easily to your front foot. That's a beautiful look. The bad news is, though, that, again, that grip was off a little bit. It was leaving the face open for you there that day. And as a result, too, that front arm isn't quite perfect. It's just going to get all the better if you make sure that grip's good, Rick. And then you can start to time that leading of the downswing with your hips. That'll be really sweet. And again, I would recommend doing it with a 9-iron or a gap wedge or pitching wedge, something like that, to keep getting used to it. And that is a pretty tall task to learn the timing of the starting of the hips on the downswing. But boy, those arms, in so many ways, Rick, look better and better, but you still see too much white glove there at that point in the follow-through. This is nice, right? All day long, this is looking nice up here. You just want that turning over the hands to happen earlier, and by getting that grip on there a little better, that'll make it easier. That looks beautiful there, buddy. Right there, right around the plane line, starting to the right a little bit, to the top of your left shoulder, no left arm showing. So that's beautiful. And that, again, when those hands really release over, that shaft will be parallel to the plane line for you, Rick, at that point in the follow-through. And I mean, you see how smooth it looks, and how the weight shift is dramatically improved. That was way out to the right, because there, you're way above the plane line on that one. Catching it back toward the heel, so it'll squeak off to the right on you. And again, leaving that face open, that arm kind of scrunched, not feeling that heel pad pushing down on the grip through the impact area will create that open face and catch it back toward the heel. And obviously you just need to practice a lot of small short swings, like I'm saying, Rick, with a wedge off a low tee at the range will be very smart. That was closer. Yeah, it's a pretty good look on the video. You just need a lot of time to get used to it now as you keep feeling better and better physically. It's a pretty good look there. So a lot of good work there, Rick. You didn't get a lot of good ball flights that day. But, again, you hadn't gotten to practice that timing of the hips thing. But you've gotten you've kind of whetted your appetite there. You can sense how that leading of the hips on the downswing will help the downswing plane a lot. And then you have to learn to time the release of your hands with that. So it's a good winter project, man.
Okay, now we're going to look at the deep squat. We're also going to convert to the K-trainer. We're going to look at some movement. What we're only going to look at is side bend movement with the K-trainer, okay? Okay, put your arms over your head. Let's have you do a squat, and let's see what it looks like. Good. Come back up. Do another one. A couple of dysfunctional moves. As you can see, the K-vest turned red a couple times. But what I normally see, I normally see an athlete go down a little bit. This is what I normally see with some of my athletes. That's about it, as far as we go. We'll see the knees coming together. We'll bend them together. And as you can see, it totally turns red on the K-trainer there. Some of the corrective exercises that we certainly would do, don't just have a gentleman hold a weight, 10-pound weight straight out here. What this weight does, starts to engage the whole core. Now do the squat. And how much easier that is. The weight just drags you right down, the core is activated, the hips totally open up. Some of the other things that we do to correct this is where you're the cheer, put your heels up on the board, and now do your squat. A little bit of rotation at the bottom of the squat. Much better than it originally was.
This is Joel Suggs. I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend and showing you your swing on the 2D equipment that I have. And so I want to take about 2 or 3 minutes to just show you around Meadowlink. This is the studio I use in the winter for all my students. You see there's the down-the-line camera angle for our 2D equipment. And then we have the face-on camera angle also. And then what we also have here is 3D equipment to where I can show you your swing from 6 different camera angles with this 3D equipment. And we can get your swing from down to the 1/120th of a second in terms of exactly what your hips, shoulders, and hands are doing in the swing. And then also, I have the most realistic hitting curve I've ever seen from puttersedge.com. So when you hit your full shots, it feels as realistic as possible. And then I have 3 different green speeds for you to practice your putting. 9.5 on the stem meter, 10.5 on the stem meter, and 12.5 on the stem meter. That's benefited my students tremendously. And then also I have a lot of learning aids like this Smart Stick. You can see the rest of those learning aids over here in my bag that we can work on to help you learn the certain fields in your golf swing that you and I both want. And then also I help my students a lot with their equipment through the winter. This is a frequency analyzer where we twang your club and it gives us a reading here. And then also we plot